Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I'm glad you're here. I want to take a quick second to thank all the channel members. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you all more than you know. And I'd like to invite those of you who haven't yet or are new here to hit that subscribe button down below and that bell notification icon. What I'll keep doing is putting out knife and EDC content from my collection as I bring things in, share them with you, and it would really help me out if you guys join me. So today I wanted to talk about yet another Hinderer in my collection. I think this is the last one. It's the XM-18 3-inch Wharncliffe. I think the first video I did on Hinderers was my 3-inch Skinner blade Hinderer that came to me via a community member, Dark Gravity, who at the time I was not even into Hinderers, wasn't really that into the 3-inch, thought the 3.5-inch was too big at the time. Long story short, you can go back and watch that video. I realized that the 3-inch was actually a really good size for me, and depending on the type of blade, I told myself this that came out, I was specifically looking to add a Wharncliffe, I might be interested in another Hinderer. And this was probably almost a year ago, probably a little bit less than a year ago. And this knife became available on, I want to say, DLT Trading Company. Could have been GP Knives. I forget, one of the two, and it came with a G10 scale. I would have to go get the box and open it and see what that G10 scale is, because this is in the battle blue titanium, which is a little bit more matte or muted than the stonewash blue, but it's kind of hard to find scales for them. But I did get lucky. There was a release, I want to say at DLT, where they dropped some 3-inch titanium scales, and I was able to find this smooth battle blue that matched. So now it is a full tie Hinderer XM-18 3-inch, and the blade steel is 20 CV, and it's a Wharncliffe. So there's a lot of jokes, a lot of might not even be jokes in the community where people talk about Hinderers aren't sharp, this and that. And they're just designed with a thicker blade, thicker use in mind, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But out of the Hinderers that have made it into my collection, which are 1, 2, 3, I want to say I might have 5, 4, 5, 6, 5, but this one is the sliciest. And I think the grind, I know the fact that it's the 3-inch gives it thinner blade stock, but I also think this Wharncliffe has something to do with it, because it is very, very slicey. And it's very pokey. It's got a very, very pokey tip, very acute, sharp tip, which I kind of call that a splinter digger. So it is great for anything you need to do that requires, a real sharp tip. This has got that. It also has, for my hand, which is a medium to large size hand, a very comfortable grip. So that's the grip behind, and we'll get some measurements in a sec, but the grip behind the flipper tab, or I guess you'd call it your locked in grip, which is a grip I do not use. I always go in front of the flipper tab, take advantage of the choil there, and don't get it cut into materials. I'm under the impression that that's how it was designed for my hand, but the jimping here works very well. You've got this classic heel jimping and the jimping here on the lock bar access and on the heel of the body. So titanium scales, titanium frame lock with a stainless steel insert, very good lockup, very good lock geometry, like every Hinderer that I've experienced. Let's see, stonewash 20 CV blade. And again, just the plain titanium hardware. No mods have been done to this except for the scale. I added the scale to it, and it's been a great knife. As a matter of fact, the only Hinderer still in my collection is my first one that still has a G10 scale, or a micarta scale now, because I haven't been able to locate a authentic battle black scale for my 3-inch, because they don't come around that often, because they are a little bit thinner. And we'll compare this just in passing to a regular XM-18. It's hard to get it to balance on that flipper tab. But let's do a couple of quick size comparisons of this guy with a couple of other American knives, like the Benchmade Bug Out. And it's going to be shorter than the Benchmade Bug Out. The Benchmade Baby Bug Out, or Mini Bug Out. It's a little bit larger there, so kind of splits the difference closer to the size of the Benchmade Bug Out, especially when you look at this handle where it falls. I think you've actually got more handle, or usable handle on the Hinderer. You've of course got less cutting area, but we'll explore that here in a sec. The other thing I wanted to show you guys while I had this here was how it compares to a 3.5-inch XM-18. So this is a full-size XM-18 next to the 3-inch. And this is the Hinderer Jurassic, again smaller than the 3.5-inch XM-18, but larger than the 3-inch Wharncliffe. And then finally, it is going to be longer than the half track. So the half track is going to be shorter, but it's also, like the XM-18, going to be much thicker. Both in blade stock and in scale thickness. And with the XM-18, you see the same thing. The scales and the blade are upsized, which makes the 3-inch not only lighter, but a much thinner knife, or thinner package, we'll call it. So let's get a couple of quick measurements using the Javon promotional tape measure with a sticker on it, and we will learn that this knife comes in right over 7 inches, 7 in a little tiny line. And then our blade is going to be right at 3 inches roughly. Our handle is going to be right at 4 inches. Our cutting area is going to be right over 2.5, right under 2 3/4. And then, like I was saying earlier, the blade thickness on the 3-inch XM-18, or the spine thickness, 0.14, 1435, and then you go up to the tip, and it drops down to 0.04. I won't get the behind the edge measurement. You guys know how tragic that would be, but it's got a flipper tab. This one's currently on bearings. It does have the Hinderer tri-way pivot system, so it comes with phosphorus bronze washers in the box, and it comes with Teflon washers. So if I want to run it on washers, I can. I've handled knives, Hinderers, on bushings, or on washers, I should say. They feel nice, they feel silky. I'm surprised I haven't run at least one of mine tri-ways on washers, but I think just at heart, I don't get out and get the knives that dirty to where washers would come in that handy, but I think I'm just a bearing guy. But it does have multiple deployment methods. You've got the thumb studs, and then you've got the flipper tab. Both work really well. The detent on this little knife, as far as I'm concerned, is dialed perfectly. It's really well dialed for the reverse flick. A little bit on the stiff side, but that's how I like it, because then it just fires out. So yeah, the Hinderer 3-inch XM-18 in battle blue. That's the other thing I was going to show you a comparison of real quick. This is the stonewash blue, which is, to me, brighter than the more muted battle blue. Battle blue shows snail trails, or the non-diamond pattern is going to show snail trails more than the diamond pattern, but you know, these are users, they're not safe queens, they get carried. And this one, I would venture to say, is one of my most carried Hinderers. I carry the XM or the half track quite a bit. I love this little knife. It's a fun one to carry, but it's a little thicker. And I would say on, you know, lighter days, work days, this finds its way in my pocket quite often. I love all my Hinderers, so I couldn't say this is my favorite, but it is definitely the sliciest, guys. And I am glad you stopped by. I hope you found this somewhat informative, entertaining, or learned something if you're interested in a Hinderer, 3-inch Hinderer. A brand that I did not initially, early on in the collecting, identify with. I didn't really see anything there that I found attractive. It literally took a fellow community member, Dark Gravity, not just getting me to hold one, but making me hang on to it for a week and carry it and see what I thought before I actually was able to appreciate what they were. So again, not trying to convert anyone. The only reason I share that is in this crazy collecting knife game, enjoying knife game, never rule anything out. Just keep an open mind, right? That's just one of the things that I think we all go through as people who collect knives, is our needs, our wants, our grooves change. So keep an open mind, guys. And please do look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for one another. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate, not hate. Thanks, channel members. Thank all of you for watching. And peace.